You ever see one of those recipe videos online that just goes completely spectacularly off the rails? Well, today we are breaking down an absolute masterpiece of culinary chaos. It's a video that promises a super healthy smoothie, but it delivers something else entirely. Let's just dive right in. Okay, so the video opens with this really serious, really compelling hook. It just throws this number at you, 80%. And right away, you're leaning in, you're thinking, 80% of what? It's such a classic way to just grab your attention. And there it is. The video sets up a really clear problem. Those smoothies you're buying at the store, they're basically just sugar bombs. So it's positioning itself as the answer, the source for some real health advice in a world of fake healthy snacks. So far, everything seems totally normal. And here's the big promise, just loaded with all the right buzzwords. Nutrient-rich, professional grade. It's setting this super high bar, this clear expectation of a perfect, gym-ready smoothie. Now, I want you to keep that promise in your head as we start to see what the reality looks like, because you'll see. So we kick things off with this healthy smoothie promise. The lighting is great, the ingredients look super fresh. Honestly, everything looks exactly like any other high-quality cooking tutorial you'd find online. And yeah, the first few steps are perfectly normal. We see someone carefully measuring out some kale, tossing in a healthy handful of frozen berries. He's getting ready to blend. Everything is clean, conventional. It feels totally trustworthy. It's kind of lulling us into this false sense of security. Okay, and this is where our perfectly smooth recipe hits a pretty major iceberg. That professional-looking setup, yeah, that was just the calm before the storm. This is where it all starts to fall apart. This is it. This is the moment everything changes. The central problem of our little story. The blender's too packed, the fruit is too frozen, and the blades just won't spin. Now that's a pretty common problem, right? But the solution we're about to see is anything but common. So your blender's stuck. A normal person might, I don't know, add a splash of water, maybe stir it with a spoon. This video, however, it has a very different idea. It introduces a fix that is, let's just say, highly unconventional. So how do you fix a blender that won't blend? More liquid, right? Nope. Wrong. According to this video, what you need is more protein. And by protein, they mean cracking a single raw egg right into the blender. Not for nutrition, but as a lubricant. I guess. This is the exact moment the video's logic just packs its bags and goes on vacation. And this just perfectly captures that comedic turn. Up until this point, you could have maybe kinda argued this was a real recipe. But with the introduction of the problem-solving egg, we have officially left reality and entered the world of satire. So if one egg was a weird choice, what happens next is just a masterclass in chaotic escalation. The video completely abandons any pretense of being a real recipe and just dives headfirst into this frantic, high-speed montage. And here comes the montage. It starts with one egg. You're watching and thinking, okay, that's weird, but maybe there's a reason. Then, before you can even process that, bam, it's a full dozen. The smoothie is now basically a strange, fruity, uncooked scramble. The commitment to this terrible, terrible idea is just unwavering. But it doesn't stop there. We're talking dozens and dozens of eggs. That healthy promise from the beginning, it is officially dead, buried under a literal mountain of raw protein. Now, you'd think that a blender full of raw eggs would be the climax of this whole thing, but you would be wrong. The video has one final glorious twist up its sleeve, because that original blending problem, it still isn't solved. At this point, the laws of the kitchen just don't apply anymore. A spatula? A whisk? Please. Those are for mere mortals. When you have a vortex of egg sludge in your blender, you don't go to the kitchen drawer. You go to the toolbox. And yes, that is a power drill. So after the power tool intervention, we finally arrive at the grand finale. The video ends with the creator looking down and assessing his work. And after all that, after the chaos, the eggs, the power tool, the creator holds up his concoction, looks dead into the camera, and with a completely straight face, delivers one single, perfect, deadpan word: perfect. Because this is what he's calling perfect. A horrifying, completely unappetizing gray sludge. The giant canyon between his triumphant declaration and the visual reality,
That's the final, beautiful punchline.
So what makes this so brilliantly funny? I mean, it's just a masterclass in comedy. It takes a format we all know, the online how-to video, and just completely shatters our expectations. Every single fix only makes the problem worse, escalating from a simple stuck blender to a power tool scrambled omelet. And it's that deadpan delivery that sells the whole thing, making fun of that whole overly confident life hack culture you see all over the internet. Which really just leaves us with one final question. Is this a brilliant parody of online life hacks, or is it a genuine and very, very misguided attempt to make a smoothie? Honestly, either way, it's one recipe you won't forget.